Your iPhone can automate your lights, your focus modes, even your email. But the second you mention updating Google Sheets, it starts acting confused. The thing is, Apple lives in its world and Google lives in theirs, which is why you don't see any shortcuts to update Google Sheets right inside the app. But if you build a connection between them, your iPhone can update your Google Sheets for you like it should have been doing this whole time. That's why I use Google Apps Script to connect my sheets in Google with my iPhone. So now whenever I run a shortcut, everything stays updated on Google too. And if you've never heard of it, AppScript is a free extension that runs on Google Sheets and other Google products that has instructions on how to manage incoming information. And when you use AppScript, Google gives you a URL that you can link with your shortcut using the action get contents of URL. So it's basically the translator in the middle that receives information from your shortcut and plugs it right into your Google Sheet. So if you've ever wished your iPhone could just handle your spreadsheets for you, here's how to set that up. We need to make sure Google Sheets actually has something set up that aligns with the information we're going to be sending. Create a new sheet in Google if you haven't already. Add columns for the date, card, merchant, amount, and category. Once you have this set up, click Extensions and then go to AppScript. At first, your screen's going to look something like this, and this is what we actually want it to look like. Now, this might look technical, but really these are just instructions that tell your sheet, hey, this is what I want you to do whenever I send information over. And basically, it's just breaking down how to add a new row whenever you send info from your shortcut. And if you don't want to write all this yourself, that's where you let AI do what it was born to do. Head back over to your spreadsheet and you can literally ask Gemini, write a Google Apps Script that receives a post request and then adds a new row to my spreadsheet. Gemini will generate a script for you, or you can just download mine in the description below. Now, once you get this script set up, there's a couple things you really need to pay attention to. First, we're sending 4 pieces of information: a card, a merchant, the amount, and the category. Whatever comes here needs to line up with what you're sending inside the shortcut. So let's take a closer look at this. We have the card, which goes to column B. We have the merchant going over to column C, the amount in column D, and the category in column E. So I'll show you exactly how to get those set up inside this shortcut, but first we need to deploy this as a web app, which will give us a URL. So we're going to deploy the app script, select web app. You're going to set it up so that anyone can access it. But don't worry, this doesn't mean that anyone will be able to access your sheet. This just means you won't have to log into Google every single time you run the shortcut. And Google's going to return with 2 pieces of information. We really only care about one of them, which is the web app URL. Copy that to your clipboard because we're going to use it in the shortcut. Now we're done with the Google side, so let's get things set up on your iPhone. I recently shared a shortcut that lets you take a picture of a receipt and track it in your expense tracker. Let's look at just adding one action to that so we can send that information to our Google Sheet. So how it works is first you're going to select a photo and then you're going to use Apple Intelligence to analyze it. It's going to look at that and give you the card, the merchant, the amount, and it's going to select a category for you. So now we have these variables for card, merchant, amount, and category, and currently they're just getting added to numbers. But if we want them to go to Google Sheets, we need to use the action get contents of URL. I'm going to delete the numbers row action just so my screen is clear. You can have both if you want, just for the sake of clarity. Let's make it simple. So we're going to add the action get contents of URL. And initially, it's going to try to figure out what was the last step of the shortcut. We don't want that. So clear that out. And where it says URL, that's where we're going to paste the URL that we got earlier from our Google Apps Script. It should look something like this. We've got this long URL, and that's exactly what Google gave us. Toggle down. So the method we're going to use is post. Now, basically, the difference is if you want to get information from your Google Sheet, you would use a get request. We want to add information to our sheet. We're going to post it to the sheet. And you'll see automatically that it's going to say the request body is JSON. That's exactly what we want. Here, we're going to add a total of 4 fields, and we're adding them as text, even though they're numbers sometimes. This is just the easiest way to work with things when you're working with Apple Intelligence and multiple variables. Things can get a little tricky, but if you label them as text fields, they should come in properly. The first one here, again, we're going to look at that app script. The key we want is card. Because the way that the app script works, it's actually creating a new date for us. So we are sending the card information right here. And I know I saw a couple comments, what if I want the date from the receipt, which is totally logical. You can just add an extra field. This is just a very basic setup that will record the date you run the shortcut, not the date from the receipt. And if you want to add that extra field, you just go right back here to the prompt, add an extra line. You can, request the date. You can say, is it tax deductible or not? You can keep going on and continue to ask more of the AI step, or you can just kind of keep it simple. So right here, like I said, I've added the card, and I'm going to select a variable. I can come up to the dictionary value for card and tap on that, and then I can add another field the same way. So it'll be a text, and we have card merchant amount, and we also have category. So we'll add all those, and then we're going to type them here. As you first set this up, the first time you tap on these dictionary values, you'll notice it doesn't necessarily say amount, it might just say dictionary value. You can tap that again and change how the variable is labeled right here. That's really helpful when you're working with multiple things that are labeled the same and it just says dictionary value over and over again. Things can get a little confusing. That is a helpful way to label your information as you send it through. We've got this up and running now, so we're gonna grab a receipt off of our camera roll and log that in our expense tracker inside of Google Sheets. And it's the first time I'm running the shortcut, so I'm getting this permission notification. My phone's basically asking, hey, is it okay if I send this picture over to that URL? Now the picture itself isn't going to land in Google Sheets. What's actually going there are the fields that we've already extracted. Hit allow, and now we have that expense added as a new row to our Google Sheet that matches the receipt we sent over. So this means the shortcut is working and everything's connected. Your iPhone is updating your Google Sheets for you. Now your phone isn't just running automations on your device, it's reaching out and handling your Google Apps too. And if you want to make this run whenever you tap to pay or use your Apple Wallet, tap automation and then use the same action, get contents of URL to make a post request and send your fields right over to your Google Apps script. If you're done manually maintaining tools that are supposed to be automated, make sure to subscribe and let's build a system that makes your iPhone work for you.